Good morning. This is Grancy. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a sleepy little fishing community called Howard's Creek, located over there by Weewah Hitchcock, otherwise known as Weewah. My mama and her sister Oni lived in Howard's Creek after they lost my daddy and my Uncle Eddie. And one of the things that our family is infamous for is our food. And the women that prepared the food was out of this world. There was always something at Oni's and on Oni's stove cooking in those big pots. There was always some kind of greens. There was always chicken and dumplings. There was always fish being fried, crabs, oysters, shrimp. If it came out of the water, we ate it. But this particular day, this particular weekend, we were all there eating, having fun, and I kept smelling one of my favorite dishes, and that's beef stew. My Aunt Oni had made a big old gigantic pot of beef stew with potatoes and the carrots and the onions and the gravy. Oh my gosh, it was to die for. Everybody, always went. The food wasn't put in bowls on the table. We just kind of grazed through the kitchen, and whatever we saw in a bowl, if we wanted some of it, we got it. And that's how we would always do our family get-togethers. And this particular day, I went up to the stove and I got me a big old bowl of that. I think, if I remember correctly, that was the only thing that I got that day to eat. Big old bowl of it with some cornbread. And I went outside to the long table that we all sat at, and I ate it, and I ate it, and I ate it. And I think I did a lot of, man, this is good. Gosh, this is the best beef stew I've ever had. Went back in, got a second bowl. And when I did that, I looked down when I was digging through there for the last potato and the last carrot. There was a bone that was in the bottom of that pan, and it was the weirdest looking bone, and it didn't look like no bone I'd ever seen in Mama's beef stew. And about that time, about the same moment that I found that bone, I heard snickering behind me. Well, I turned around, and Oni had her hand over her mouth like, because that's how she used to laugh and giggle. Mama was laughing. Nidra was laughing. I don't even remember. All I heard was people laughing. And I said, what in the hell is this that I'm eating? And my aunt only looked just as serious at me with her hand still over her mouth, and she went, cooter soup. Well, oh my God. To begin with, I didn't know what cooter meant. Not when it came to soup. But I found out that day. I had an education that day as to what turtle soup was. I wasn't going to admit it then, and I still find it really hard to admit it now, but that was some of the best stew I have ever eaten in my life. I won't eat it again, mainly because my Aunt Oni's not here anymore to cook it, and I don't think I'd trust it with anybody else, but that was a day in the life at Howard's Creek. It was one of many, and there was a lot of good food that was put out on that table for us, and a lot of good entertainment. But anytime you can gather around the table or tables with your family to enjoy a good meal, you need to do that, because those are some of the most precious memories I'll ever have in my life. And now it's impossible to go back, but the memories are right here in my heart. They will always be in my heart. And the laughter and the fun that came out of that day, still to this day, is being talked about. I love you, Oni. I love you, Mama. I love my family. I miss Howard's Creek. Good times. Peace.